Okay, so this video is a little overdue, and I think that this is my call to action. Basically, I have been meaning to do a video about your friends, your company, and what that does to you specifically. Yes, you. So, what I want to get to is talking about just those who are on their self-improvement journey, people who are trying to develop themselves. It's a journey that, yes, it's in the name, self-improvement or self-development, but the truth behind that is that you don't just do it all alone. There are going to be moments where you hit a plateau, you hit a wall, you hit a barrier, and you're not going to have all the answers. And most importantly, it is the influence that motivates you to carry yourself forward. Now, I know before I carry on, you're going to be thinking, whoa, SK, you say motivation is bad. Like discipline is what overrides motivation. And yes, it does. But the motivation is what is the catalyst to inspiration. And that then is the catalyst to discipline. Does that make sense? So you're going to be motivated to do something, which then creates action, and that action then creates the routine. Therefore, you sort of create like this little circle of self-actualized energy. And what is so important to whatever you're trying to achieve is the group that surrounds you, or the group that backs you, because these are the people who you're going to be associating yourself with and socializing with on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have anybody, well, then that's also fine. But you're going to get to a stage where you start to create a network, and that network is so important. So I want to talk today a little bit about my network and just who I, associate myself with, and just like almost on a daily basis communicate in some way, shape, or form. So the first person that I want to talk about, who is very, on the same level as me, because I truly believe that you are the average of your social group. I know that whole expression gets used to death, and rightfully so, because those are the people who are going to be sharing the same ideas as you, and they're going to influence you. Okay? We as humans are social creatures. So my first influence that actually got me into YouTube and wanting to sort of improve myself and develop my abilities as a YouTuber, as a social media figure, and to influence young men and women worldwide to develop themselves is a guy called Hamza. You guys might know him. His name is plastered all over YouTube. Hamza is a personal friend of mine. I talk to him less now because he's a very busy guy. But I found his channel when he was just at like 10k followers. And I thought, whoa, here's another brown guy that's talking about the same things that I want to talk about, but I didn't have the confidence to do it. I thought that the world would judge me. And yeah, they will. But the reality is when you've got something that you need to say, there's no point in keeping it bottled up inside. That message needs to be put out there for the masses to hear, and this guy did it in such an unfiltered way. It just served as such a huge inspiration. I want to talk a little bit about Hamza, even though he's got his entire channel, which gives you his whole backstory. One of the things that really brought me to him, and I find appealing to him, is that he's an authentic guy. He's very upfront, he's very honest about who he is. He is completely unfiltered to the point where it's like, damn, hey bro, like we brown. If certain members of the family heard just what we were up to, they might just think, whoa, that's like a disomen. You're getting banished from the tribe, so to speak. But the mission always comes first. And that's something that resonates very strongly with me, being a former soldier. The mission is always at the highest priority. And my mission and his mission is to spread this influence throughout the world. Now, Hamza he's very good at what he does. He's a very business-focused guy, right? But his social standing is because he connects with everybody because you can relate to him in some way, shape, or form. That's the type of person that I personally am growing into. I can just feel it every single day. The other day I was at the gym, I was out, and I just found myself naturally talking to people. And then the conversation would lead from just a simple hello, how are you, to then talking to them about their personal lives, their backstories, their ambitions. What do they find like appealing to them? What is attractive to them? What's holding them back? That's all elements of life coaching. That's what Hamza started out as. That is the same road that I'm going down. You know, there's a lot of similarities there, which I find is what's crucial, because at the end of the day, I myself am trying to elevate from my current situation and always pushing myself to be one step ahead. There'd be no point in, say, for example, if Hamza was still in his own like Jeffrey ways, to associate myself with him, because if he's hitting the crack pipe every single day while I'm out here pushing content out, going to the gym, there's a huge disparity. And I know it's not the ideal sort of case for everybody when it comes to, you know, sometimes you have friends who just don't resonate with the same message. They don't identify with your mission. Then you have two options. You can accept that and just keep them to the wayside, or you can cut them off. And me personally, I did that to a lot of people, especially when I left the military. Okay, I didn't really have that many people to begin with because I traded one life for another. But then I traded back, came back to society, and realized that, you know what, I want something more out of life. I want something more for myself. And in just taking that action alone, it forced me to look deep. And I had to cut away the things that were negatively influencing me. I had friends who were just so obsessed with video games and their mental health was just in complete shit state that I had to really pull myself away from it. You know, and just, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's all I can say. Hamza's the first guy. I think sneezing. See? If you're superficial. If you're superstitious, they say that when you sneeze, you're apparently like telling the truth or some bullshit. It's like an old wives' tale. I don't know. I'm probably talking shit, but hey. The next person that I like to associate myself with, or rather the person that I connected to, is a fitness influencer. And he's also a YouTuber. You know, I'm starting off with the people who society would consider like in the big leagues, right? Because I just want to go through like the different tiers of friendship that you can cultivate, right? This person is a calisthenics, you know, fitness, and now he's becoming more of like a self-improvement, like mixed influencer. And I have been watching his videos for a little while, and ever since I saw his videos, I thought, damn, this guy's got a really cool lifestyle. This guy's really got it popping off. You know, he's good looking, pause, whatever. He's got the aesthetic body. He's really worked on himself and developed himself as a man. And his name is Austin Dunham. I met Austin through Instagram, where I saw him put an advert out for, or rather on his IG story, he was advertising his coaching business, which initially was just fitness, everything fitness related. So I will put I'll put two pictures here of what I looked like before I actually started taking myself seriously and started working on myself, and what I currently look at now. So I'm currently on like a lean bulk, and I'm nearing the end of that lean bulk. I think at the end of April, that's when I come off and I start going into a slight cut, because, you know, we got to be coming correct for summer. But I met Austin through the fitness segment of Instagram. And through the coaching calls, you know, I started to talk more and more to him, and I got to know him on a one-to-one basis. And one thing I realized, you know, there's a similarity between him and Hamza. Their personalities, when you're talking to them in person and when they are, you know, behind the camera, like shooting videos, they're the same person. There's 100% authenticity about them. And before you say, oh, but you know, how can you really tell? Well, the truth is you never really can. Besides from the fact that the consistency in their nature always shows that. If they were just in it for the money, or if they were just here to, you know, just make a quick buck, that would show at some point. But every single time, without fail, when we have our weekly coaching calls, now it's a lot more diverse. There's like a whole group of people, and we talk about, you know, fitness, finance, dating. You know, we talk about just like anything really, like dieting, just like social norms, etc. It's become like a real hub for like the bros, right? It's become like a safe haven almost. Like you see all these podcasts with men talking about their issues. It's very similar, but we're now flipping the script. We're all about improving ourselves. And those are two big elements that are clashed together. And I'm constantly surrounded by them. So from that, you can see that, you just push yourself to elevate through your friend group, and you will naturally start to, cultivate the skills and develop that mindset, because life is all about repetition. So between Austin Dunham and Hamza, I'm always talking about self-development. I'm always talking about, wins of the week, wins of the day. I'm always making sure that I get my daily tasks checked. I'm always making sure that my routine is absolutely impeccable or close to every single day without fail. And that is what's driving me to go to the upper level. That is what's taking me to new heights. I truly, truly, firmly believe that this is the way that your social group will help you elevate yourself. But as I say, in order to elevate yourself, you must separate yourself from whatever it is that is currently tying you down. So before I go, I just want you to ask yourself this. What is it that you want in life truly? And how are you going to get? But then what are you also doing to get there? And who are the people that are influencing you in your life? Just think about that. Journal it down, write it down, use a dictaphone and speak your mind into it. Listen back to it 10, 15 times. Stare at the wall and really get the answers going. Really get your creative juices flowing, because that is the first step to creating that group that you want. And if you're somebody like myself who didn't have a social group in the first place, this is exactly what I did. I started to write everything down, and I worked my way back to figure out what my core issues were. And then I started to push myself to break those barriers, to challenge myself. And as I started to do that, I started meeting people along the way. And that's where you get to test different elements of yourself. You get to test your social skills. You get to test your ability to make pleasant conversation, to make friends. It's all a skill. It's all a process. And everything that's worth doing, everything that's worth happening, whether it's the ideal job that you want, building a YouTube, career, a platform, a business, or if you're just trying to get with that girl that you've always liked, if it's worth having, there's going to be challenges along the way, and it all takes time. So this is my challenge to you when it comes to looking at yourself and dealing with your own social circle. Look at the people who inspire you versus the people who are just not doing very much or dragging you down. As always, guys, keep separating, keep elevating. SK out.